It's already been a wild season in Monster Energy Supercross heading into round 4, and it just got wilder. Some of the best racing you'll ever see. Welcome to the SMX Insider post-race show from Angel Stadium in Anaheim. SMX World Championship, Monster Energy AMA Supercross. Jason Wygant here, joined by the 5-time Premier Class Supercross champion, Ricky Carmichael. You've been around a long time. I've been around a long time. I have maybe never seen racing quite like this. It's unreal what's happening right now.
Well, especially in the 450 class. I'm going to talk about it. Fourth race, 4 different winners, and there are still several guys that haven't won yet this year that have a legit shot to do that. And this racing, I mean, the Triple Crown never disappoints, ever. And we had a heck of a night of racing here tonight.
Yeah, it is so tight. It's difficult to even find all of the highlights, but we're going to try our best to sum this night up. So we'll start in the 450 division to the epic opening ceremonies here, which even included Justin Barcia rolling in a Ghostbusters Ecto Cruiser. The fans were fired up. There was some during the week drama between these men, Jason Anderson and Jason Lawrence, not conversing down at the line as they were picking their start gates for the first race. Let's drop the gate on it. Yeah. So Jorge Prado came here with 1 goal, get a hole shot in one of these, thought he was going to get it, drifted wide, and that allowed Chase Sexton to grab the early lead. There's points leader Aaron Plessinger and Lawrence in the pack, and then he goes down. Yeah,
that was an out-of-pocket crash there by Jet Lawrence. Not sure. I had originally thought that his lockdown device on his forks was still locked down and they released and he went sideways, but that wasn't the case.
Here is Sexton into the #1 spot. As mentioned around Prado, the defending champ knew what to do.
Yeah, well, for Chase Sexton, that's about how his whole first race went there.
Yep, and then it was another bad one for Malcolm Stewart, who's been on the ground far too many times this year. Yeah. Crashed while running around 6th in the first race. Yeah.
And he gets knocked around by Justin Hill.
Yep. Domination, absolutely, from Sexton. So you're thinking, hey, it's going to be his night. He's looking great.
And that was dominant. You had every right to believe that.
Yep. Race 2, totally different. Great start by Cooper Webb. Prado finally gets one, but look at Cooper Webb up the inside.
Yeah, that was a great start by Prado, and I loved Prado's time here in the States. I was really impressed with what he was able to do.
Here is Sexton buried in traffic, and then he runs into Kyle Chisholm, loses ground. Chisholm and Benny Bloss down.
Nothing really that any of those guys right there could do. Just, I mean, listen, these guys are fighting for real estate. That's the first lap. Things are going to happen.
Anderson got around Plessinger for 2nd and then made this move for the lead on Webb.
I mean, Jason Anderson, I think he was the guy all night long. It was great to see him riding so well. And I think we haven't seen the last of him, and he believes in himself, and that's dangerous.
Lawrence mounting a comeback from a bad start, a late pass on Plessinger, who did all he could to hold the Honda rider at bay. But Lawrence in salvage mode after a tough race 1 where he finished 7th, up to 3rd here.
Well, the rookie sensation, he is going through it all, and he's learning just how good these guys in the 450 class are.
Yep, so Webb's 2nd, and here's Anderson on the 21, the Monster Kawasaki, a big win in race 2. And he and Webb are your leaders in points coming into the 3rd race of this Triple Crown. Great start for Sexton, but watch Anderson here. Bumped and banged around. Ken Roxon would go down, and then Anderson would have more trouble before long.
Hated to see Kenny go down like that, man. We didn't see much from him tonight, but I'm going to tell you right now that number 3 of that Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha, his scorecard wasn't a reflection of how well he was riding.
Yeah, Eli Tomac to the lead, and then here's Anderson at lap 1, goes down, but watch this while he's off the racetrack. Gets on the gas. That's a tough call. The AMA's got to decide.
You're not supposed to gain an advantage, so what they'll do is they'll look at that, and if they think that he went to the side of the whoops faster than he would have went through the whoops, there's probably going to be something going on there.
Lawrence making moves. He gets around Plessinger.
Yep.
And then he's putting pressure on Chase Sexton, and this is odd. Watch Sexton here.
Yeah, Sexton kind of just rolls out, but we don't know what Sexton was thinking right here. It'd be interesting to get his thoughts and words on that. Don't want to put words in his mouth.
And then on the last lap, Lawrence, who would have finished 2nd overall, crashes.
And have the points lead, mind you. He was in the points lead at this stage, and you know what? That was on him. He was playing with fire on the right side of those whoops all night long, and it finally got him at the worst time possible.
This is a very popular win in race 3. Eli Tomac waxed him. He pulled away from the field once he had the lead. The crowd went nuts. Not enough to win the overall tonight, though, because Cooper Webb was Mr. Consistency.
Telling you now, though, everybody better keep that number 3 two-time champ, Eli Tomac, in check, because if he gets some starts figured out, it's going to be game on. Great job by this guy, though.
Yeah, and honestly, same thing when you get Cooper Webb a little bit of confidence. And he gets a congratulations from Plessinger. He is going to be a tough man to beat. And Anderson, what could have been if not for that crash in race 3. Man, 3 veterans back up on the podium tonight. What a season we have in front of us. First, let me give you the overall results here. As I said, the consistency of Webb. Didn't win any of the races, but 225 was more than enough to win the overall. Anderson second, at least for now, because the AMA is reviewing that result in race 3. He might take on a penalty. Tomac third, Plessinger fourth, Sexton fifth, and Lawrence ends up sixth. He would have been second if he had not crashed in the last lap. And it leads to this, your Monster Energy 450 point standings, unreal. 5 riders, 7 points.
Yeah, that's nuts. And then you go to 6, Eli Tomac, only 10 back. You only can guess he's going to get better, especially after that 3rd race win here in the Triple Crown. So a lot to look forward to going to Detroit, and I really feel like this type of series with all the parity and how close everyone is, I feel like they're going to have to, it's going to be interesting to see which guy's able to manage that, which guy's going to be okay with getting second and not throwing it away, because when you throw it away, kind of like what Jet Lawrence did, he went from leading the points series to what, 6 or 7, 8 points back. So that's what happens when the parity is so tight. And I think in the end, obviously the best guy always wins, but it's going to be fun. That's what I'm looking forward to see how the guys react.
When you say managing things, that is what Cooper Webb does very well, and he is on a roll right now, so that will be interesting. Now, on the other side of the coin is Jet Lawrence, who threw away some points tonight. Let's send it down to Jason Thomas to find out more about the 18.
Well, I'm standing in one of the most pivotal spots of the racetrack for Jet Lawrence tonight, and where he threw away a podium on the last couple laps to go, and I still can't really figure it out. Even I asked Ricky Carmichael post-race, you know, what had to be going through his head there, and I'll show you why. Now, if you look to my right, this is where the rut has gone through the whoops, and is it a little bit slower? Sure, but Jet Lawrence wasn't in a position where he really needed to be worried about his lap times. It's safer, it's a little bit slower, but the risk of crashing is very low. Now, if you pan to my left, this is where Jet Lawrence was going, and it was faster. He was blitzing there throughout the night. We saw several close calls, and this is where he ended up going down. And the final thing I'll mention, if you look at the very end of this section, the tough blocks and that kind of moved back into the lane, and that's where Jet finally got into trouble because he ran out of racetrack. And when you're on a track like this where it's deteriorating and it's the end of the race, you want to be thinking about what's the safest line, not what's the fastest line. It doesn't matter anymore what the fastest line is. You're just trying to get to the finish line and preserve that podium. That's where Jet Lawrence is still learning. A night like tonight where risk wasn't your friend. We saw Jason Anderson go down in that last race, throw away a win. And Jet Lawrence threw away a podium, making a decision that I believe in a few years he would make a very different decision than he did tonight.
Show you again. What do you think?
I mean, he was flirting with disaster all night long in the first race and the second race, and it finally got him in the worst time possible. And it's interesting because going down that right side, yeah, like JT said, it was faster, but the risk was just too high, and you pinch yourself off as well. Like you don't, the turn has a tighter apex, which makes it that much harder. So it's very interesting. I'm sure we'll find out a little more this week why he was going over there and he just married to that line, because he's plenty creative enough to go to the left side where everyone else was. And yeah, he had to get it to the finish line and he didn't. And listen, I chalk it up to rookie mistakes. We're going to see a lot more, I believe, this season, but the quicker that obviously he can get those sorted out, the better he is going to do. But he's got to stop him. He's too good to be doing what he's doing.
Yeah, the good news is, though, all these guys are still in the championship fight. Not all lost. Totally. We're only 4 rounds in, and it flip-flops every darn week. So I think we just look forward to more of this.
What I think I look when I'm looking at Jet, I'm just looking at getting down the stretch, and you look at like tonight, you're like, oh, what was I thinking? Like a veteran that I am, and did it for so long, but that rookie mentality caught him.
Give you the 250 highlights now from Angel Stadium, Round 4, Monster Energy AMA Supercross and the SuperMotocross World Championship. The 57 of Nate Thrasher won our last race, Round 3 in San Diego. And our winner when we were here at Anaheim a few weeks ago was the 24 of RJ Hampshire, but he had had 2 bad races in the mud and really needed to bounce back tonight. And he would do everything he needed to do off the start in this one. The 24, a good jump. Gonna get pinched off here a little bit, but a nice move on the inside. And be battling here with the rookie rider DeFrancisco and also Levi Kitchen. Whoa, I did not see that wild ride there. Anyway, Levi Kitchen takes the lead from DeFrancisco. Looked good early.
Well, Levi Kitchen looked good all night long. I mean, just and hence he wins. Joe Shimoda goes down. This is a guy that needs some confidence. Just anything that could go wrong is going wrong for this man, and I hate to see it, but that's part of racing.
He also tangled with points leader Jordan Smith. Now here is Hampshire making moves. He gets around last week's winner Thrasher, and you can see that Kitchen is not too far up ahead.
No, he's not. RJ was fast all day, even in qualifying practice. I'm like, man, this could certainly be his night. But again, I go back to giving it to Levi Kitchen. The guy rode superb tonight.
Look how close it was at the line between Kitchen and Hampshire. That is great racing. So you probably say to yourself, well, I'd like to see a little more of that. I want to see Kitchen and Hampshire go at it again. Stay tuned. Got Crash Talon Hawkins in the first turn of the second race, and now Thrasher and Smith are down.
Yeah, both guys going down on them star Monster Energy Yamahas. Hate to see that, especially Jordan Smith coming in with the red plate.
Phil Nicoletti on the Muck-Off FX Start Club MX Yamaha, the 34-year-old in the lead early. Here's Smith salvaging and then goes down again.
Yeah, that was a tough hit. He just high sides on the back of the rear fender there. And you hate to see it. He ran out of real estate, and down he goes.
Here is Hampshire on the Rockstar Husqvarna trying to make the move on Nicoletti, but he was being patient, and that allowed the 47 of Kitchen to also follow him through.
Yeah, I mean, RJ, he rode great this race, and he withstood the pressure.
This is it, final lap. Kitchen sends it, gets alongside, thought he would make the pass there, and then this is the final turn. No, Hampshire holds him off.
Yeah, I love the move before the last turn, though. RJ racing him hard, didn't let Kitchen sneak up in there.
Now we go to race 3, the showdown between Hampshire and Kitchen. Bad start for Hampshire, and now Kitchen's right where he wants to be.
Oh,
Ghostbusters whole shot, and he almost went down.
It. Yeah, coming out of the corner, accelerating, goes sideways, but saves what could have been horrible. And Nate Thrasher getting a great start. Now, he won last week, so he's getting some momentum going there. He rode good all night also.
And then RJ marching through traffic then goes down, but luckily was able to get up early enough, and he had a big enough points gap with the strong results in the first 2 races where he could still finish on the podium tonight. Thrasher, meanwhile, is going to win race 3.
Yeah, Thrasher looked fantastic, and that second race really hurt his chances of possibly getting the win overall, but still, you got to give it to this guy. He was the most consistent, solid guy all night long in the 250 class.
And he knew he didn't need to beat Thrasher in this one to get the overall, and that's actually back-to-back years that he has won this Triple Crown at Anaheim 2, but his first win with his new team, Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki, and that's 4 250 winners in 4 rounds this year. Unbelievable what has transpired in both of our divisions. This season will show you how Kitchen won it with the 1, 2, 3 scores, and Hampshire still salvaged second, even with the 7th in race 2. Thrasher 3rd, Shimoda 4th, and Jordan Smith, a horrible night all around, still 5th.
That's
impressive.
Making it happen, and that's what's nice about the Triple Crown. as dismal as it might sound or look, some guys that you think are going to have a bad night, or they would in a regular format, they just they don't get crushed as bad on a night like Triple Crown.
And it pays off for Smith because he is still tied for the points lead with Kitchen. Hampshire has moved back up, cutting the gap down to just 8 points. These 250 West riders will have a couple of weekends off before resuming racing in Glendale, Arizona, outside of Phoenix. So Levi Kitchen, I feel like this has been in weight. He's been fast all year, but tonight he really delivered.
Yeah, he showed his cards tonight, and I loved how he managed all 3 races. Just superb. Couldn't have done it better. Obviously, if he would have won, that would have made it better, but still, and he never looked like he was on the edge, so that tells me that he's comfortable, and he's in a great spot as far as championship implications are.
Big risk to leave that Star Racing Yamaha team. They've had a lot of success. He was there. The Monster Energy Pro Circuit team, not a slouch either.
No.
But he definitely looks good so far.
Yeah, I love it. I think he needed a breath of fresh air, moving teams, and it seems like that has been the right move for him. Still a lot of racing left. RJ's right there. Jordan is right there. And don't turn your back on Nate Thrasher. The guy's plenty capable of wins. He just kind of got himself behind the first couple rounds.
Now, speaking of Kawasaki, we have Will Christian over there. We mentioned in the 450 class, Jason Anderson. First he goes down. This is race 3 on lap 1. But the problem is this. When he gets up, it's a judgment call. Did he go too fast off the racetrack? And that's what the AMA is looking into. And if he gets penalized, that could knock him off the podium. So we'll send it down to Will with more on this story.
Thank you, Jason. And yes, I'm here at the AMA trailer right now. I've been waiting on information because they've obviously been looking over footage. They have to make sure that they're comfortable in their decision. Then they have to tell the team, so there's steps that they have to go to. But I have just been told it's been made official now, and Jason Anderson did get docked 1 position for that 3rd race, which has basically taken him from 2nd to 4th there in the overall. And the reason for it, like you said, is gaining an advantage. We see him at this point here with the B-roll. This is how it was explained to me. Then deciding to skip out on the whoops. And as you can see, he did accelerate through it. So whilst he did not gain a position on the track, which would have ultimately, if he had, cost him 1 more position, what he did gain was an advantage. In other words, it was essentially the easier route round, so he gained time. And that's why he did get docked that 1 position there.
Yeah, and then you look, when we saw that replay, he had plenty of room to get back onto the track safely. There was no one behind him and go through the whoops. So essentially, that's probably was the end result for them, and why AMA came to that conclusion. That's what I'm guessing. But nevertheless, yeah, he should have got back on the whoops, and unfortunately, he's been docked.
Yeah, and just go to supermotocross.com. We'll get you all the information throughout the week, and we'll see. But it appears that it is official that Anderson did get penalized. Real quick, show you the manufacturer's points here. This is combining both classes, and you saw the success in 450s with Tomac and Webb, Thrasher and Smith, 250s for Yamaha. They have already built up a gap over Kawasaki in our manufacturer's standings. And Honda, KTM, and GasGas are top 5. And in the 450 division, though, the individual rider standings, this is incredible. Yeah. Aaron Plessinger threw away what appeared to be a sure win in Detroit last year, and now he will enter this race this year with the points lead. This is 2023.
Yeah, this is tearjerker. Well, he had about 2 laps left to go in the main event, and about as easy of a win as you could possibly get, but it was rightfully deserved. He was riding superb all night long, and just a heartbreak. Absolute heartbreak to see him not win his first Supercross.
But he did get his first win last week. Ken Roxon goes down while leading. Plessinger takes the lead, and this time he held it all the way to the end. And with that first career 450 win, he took over the points lead, and by being on the podium tonight, he maintains it. We talked to him about getting some redemption rolling into Detroit this time.
Last year, Detroit was obviously disappointing, but it was so enlightening at the same time, you know, reminding myself where I need to be and what I can do. And to come back to Detroit with the red plate would be insane. You know, insane. It would mean the world, and hopefully we can get redemption there. And yeah, I think I haven't seen the track map just yet, but hopefully it's a good track for the number 7, and we can head there and get the dub.
We'll use all those words. It'll be insane. It would mean the world to him. He did it.
Y'all need to tune in because you're missing out if you don't.
And if you want to, remember, we're racing earlier in the day because we have a live TV spot on NBC. So Race Day Live, our qualifying show, will start at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. This is from Ford Field in Detroit. You can watch Race Day Live on Peacock and the SMX Video Pass. And then NBC and Peacock coverage at 3 o'clock Eastern next Saturday. You do not want to miss that, so make sure you're ready for the day race. It's some of the best racing we have ever seen in the 50-year history of Monster Energy AMA Supercross. It started with wild opening ceremonies, and it continued with great racing all the way through the night in both classes. Levi Kitchen, his first win of the season and first on a Kawasaki. And add Cooper Webb's name to the board of 450 winners this year, and he's right in the heart of this championship fight as well. Lots of drama in this series. We'll see you in Detroit.